All right, everybody. Let me know if the screen is clear because I have been having issues today with this internet and it's driving me crazy. Let me know if you can see the screen very clear and you can hear me clear. So I just want to make sure that everything is going smooth. So tonight's topic is on postpartum. It's on motherhood. It's on man or children. Tonight's topic, I'm okay. Y'all let me know if y'all can see me because I don't want to be talking to myself because this is a live. So I just want to make sure the video is clear before I truly begin the show. So if anybody can type in there, and welcome to tonight's podcast. I don't know, what do you call this? Like just a video. To me, I just dropped that I believe in, what I see is truth, what I see is the foundation of us all, some things that we need to all tap into. So let me, if you can see this video, just make sure, because usually I see people in the, hold on, let me make sure, let me check my comments. I usually see people in the comments, but I don't see anybody in the comments tonight. So let me know if you can see the video clear or if my streaming is kind of faulty. King Gemini, do you see the video clear? Because I see you. You're the only person that popped up. So I just need confirmation here because ain't nobody saying nothing. So I'm just going to get started. But if anybody can see this, let me know if it's not clear. Okay, you're good. You can see me. All right, perfect. Tonight's class is definitely going to be something that I would like to bring in someone off of the audience tonight because I feel like it's going to be a good balance. But I, of course, wanted to drop a few jewels myself before I brought somebody into the audience, because this conversation right here is not just a woman's conversation. This is absolutely a family conversation. It is something that I know many of us are dealing with right now. Many families are dealing with the issue of creating families and not knowing how to sustain them, not knowing how to sustain each other. There has to be a balance. There has to be a harmony in the rhythm that goes into these families. And if we can understand and educate each other just a little more, it would do us justice in so many areas in cultivating the spirit of family, the foundation of family, and growing the family. Because, I mean, aren't we all here to grow? Okay, I see people. All right, great. Yeah, I wanted to dress up tonight because I'm like, I was born in a family to where we never celebrated Valentine's Day. But then as I got into relationships, I realized a lot of men that were, made that as an excuse. And then they never got me flowers the other days around the year either. So today it's like a day where I'm just like celebrating myself because that's what I do every day anyway. If you know me, you know me. I'm always out here dressed up, cute, just glowing. And I just wanted to give a piece of that energy to the crowd tonight. So, and thank you, Renee. She said, I see you clear and glowing. But if you know women or men who have, especially if you have newborns right now, if you're first starting off in a relationship, if you are thinking about having children right now, this conversation is for you. Honestly, this conversation is if you have a family and you're struggling with the dynamics of the family, the changes that the woman is making right now, because, what got me into this conversation was a young man who actually has 5 children. And he reached out to me about his wife and dealing with postpartum and just the dynamics around that. And so I gave him a call and I was like, okay, this would be a great topic because this is something that I also suffer with. And I gave him a good idea about how to deal with himself in that space and how to deal with his woman, because it's going to affect everybody in the family. the key is to grow the foundation as a whole. It's not one or the other. It is the harmony within the family. And if we do not focus on these things, I promise you, you can have a baby today and you're going to be divorced or out of that relationship a few years later, just by how we handle and care for each other during these vulnerable and these magical spaces of our lives that society never taught us. Communities never taught us. Mothers and fathers never showed us. The people around us have not shown us. So you have to get this information somewhere. If you are somebody who's intentional about cultivating love in your life and having that love grown and creating a vision for yourself, then we have to know how to deal with these type of matters, because these things are coming up because of how we neglect ourselves, because how we treat each other, because of the lack of community. It is one giant big deal of things that we're dealing with, and you don't really hear too many discussions about these things, and you definitely don't hear a lot of men talking about how do I treat my wife during such vulnerable times of his woman's life. And of course, this isn't just for a married person, this is for all of us. We all in relationships or we having children. So I first wanted to start with the woman as she's carrying the seed. Well, actually, no, let's take it back, because the first thought that comes in before you even drop that seed into that woman is your intention and your mindset that you carry for that woman before you even enter into that woman. It's also the intention behind, what do you want to produce? What are you trying to produce once you put that seed into that woman? What is the mind behind it? Because you got to take it all the way back before you push it all the way out. You got to take it back. And this is for those who, you might be in the mindset right now, you feeling that connection to having children, and you want to know, what frame of mind should I be in before I even put the seed into this woman? A lot of us are in relationships to where love does not really exist yet, because there is no foundation there. And then, of course, we are in a lot of lustful relationships. So going into creation and you're just in a lustful relationship, what do you think the energy behind that produces? The energy behind that is going to produce a sort of, let's say, hell for the woman when she's carrying the child, because she has to detox herself from that energy in order to produce life. Now, these are things we don't get down to, these dynamics of what is that really like when a woman is carrying a child. And every woman's experience is different. Yes, there are some women who will tell you, me carrying my child was the best thing that ever happened to me. And that was a blessing for her. And then there's some women who carry a child and get the complete opposite. And she has to go through every symptom. She's throwing up for months at a time, almost like she has a stomach virus every single day. She's detoxing her body. She's lacking nutrition at that moment as she's throwing up, because she can't enter food inside of her body. But then as I studied this for myself, I looked at it and I saw that that's the spiritual connection between the man and the woman. That isn't just something that just occurs, which doctors like to tell us that, oh, these things just occur because this is just how your body is reacting to it. But you got to look at it as though, who I am, I'm just a reflection of who I am at this state. So if you are carrying energy inside of you that is against you, and it's not even something that you might all the time outwardly see, it might be somewhere in the thoughts. That man or that woman can feel like, oh, you were just an option, not someone that I wanted to be permanent with. You are not someone that I wanted to settle down with, but they're going to choose to stick by you anyway because they're having a child. And so I wanted you to understand the importance of cultivating a clear relationship and a solid foundation at the beginning of the relationship at the beginning of producing that seed and that relationship with that woman. Because if you don't, the energetic exchange that it creates can be detrimental to her spirit and to herself and to her body and to her mind, because she has to carry life. We are not going into this mindset that we are carrying life at this moment. I am taking an extension of you and producing it, and then I have to push it outside of myself. I have to carry an extension of you, your energy, your source energy. So the mindset that's attached to that, the makeup of who you are, brother, and the makeup of who you are, sister, has to be merged together to create one. So if you are in something right now that has no flow, that has no harmony, which your mind already tells you subconsciously because you pick up on these cues, let me tell you something a little subtle. When you talking to somebody and they talk over you, they not listening to you. They don't want to really hear you. When they always argumentative with you. When they're always in a fighting spirit. When they don't really think 5 times before they speak. When they don't care if they hurt you. When they don't have a nurturing spirit towards you. You have to look at these things, because when you're going into the state of the family, this is what you're going to produce and multiply into existence. So you have to look at these things. I know a lot of us don't want to take out the time to educate ourselves about the mindset, but it is the most key thing that you can do before you produce a child with a woman, because she's going to take on not only your mindset, your blood, the energy and the DNA that makes up who you are. So if you have hidden trauma inside of your mind that has been untouched, she's going to feel that within herself, but she's not going to know where to pinpoint it within herself, because you have never extracted it and brought it up to the surface. These are the things that create the cycles over and over again. These are the things that we're not talking about, especially when we're producing babies, as though we can just jump into somebody's bed, like we're not literally creating a whole star of energy into the universe, because that's what you're doing. That's what we're doing. Even when you're having sex and not producing children, every time you push your seed out of your body, you're creating an energy, you're creating a frequency, and you have to understand that, because the energy that you send out has consequences on everything around you. I don't think we understand the energy game and how it works. And once you understand that everything holds energy, then you will be a little more aware of yourself and careful where you place your seed, careful where you placing your energy, who you're producing a child with. Because you're taking the energy and the force that they are, the force that you are, and you're forcing these things together. And sometimes these things are so forced that it breaks a woman down, because now she has to take on that energy that you never deconstructed inside of yourself and that you never alchemized into something new. And now she's pregnant. And just as a reference point, before I had children, I listened to Minister Farrakhan, How to Give Birth to a God. If you want to evolve your mindset right now, go and listen to that lecture 1 and 2, and it will show you how to produce a God mind inside of yourself before you have children. Secondly, when a woman is pregnant, and I'm going to give you examples of myself and the things that I've experienced. When I got pregnant, it was almost immediately 6 weeks later, I started becoming nauseous, and I was sick for 4 whole months, maybe 5, and still the duration of the entire pregnancy. And when I say I was sick, I was throwing up like I had a stomach virus every single day, multiple times a day. I was at that time, I didn't even drive. I was on a train, throwing up on the train. I was on buses. I was at my job, just puking away. I don't know. It's a lot of information, but this is something that a lot of women go through. So you have to understand that the amount of energy that we have to use to produce a child is our life force energy. So just imagine you being sick, brothers, for 4 months at a time. Every single day, you're throwing up and you have to walk around, go to work. Your feet are swollen now. You're carrying a baby that is tipping your body over. You feel pain in all parts of you. And you have to walk with this energy. You have to go home. You have to clean up. You have to be yourself. You have to tap into yourself every single day. Imagine that sometimes. Look at it for yourself. What does that feel like? Because you could never truly imagine what that feels like unless you've been sick under chemo or radiation treatment where you sick in your body and you know what that feels like. And like I said, every woman doesn't experience this, but a lot of women experience symptoms of this. So this is what the mind is going through. The mind has been impressioned with trauma almost every single day. You're weak in your body. You probably lack nutrition because you're not eating healthy meals. So your energy is low. Your energy is low. You walking around trying to be your best self, your energy is low. You walking around trying to produce a God, but your energy is low. And just imagine if you don't have community around you, if you don't have a mother to assist you, if you don't have aunties and women to teach you how to maneuver through this time. And for some of us, when it's our first time and we've never experienced something like this, this is creating not only a new energy for the child, but this is a new self in you. As a woman, she's producing a new self. Because the minute life goes into her body, she's going to feel something new inside of her. It's like, okay, a star has been born. It's birthed inside of my belly. And now I have this new energy. I have this newfound awareness of myself. And a lot of times we expect women to know how to deal with this when, why would we know how to deal with it? It's like if you ever got shot, that's a new symptom in your life. That's something new. That's something that you have to newly experience. It's a new pain in your life. So you got to mentally know how to deal with it. If your legs got cut off, that's something you got to deal with. That's what it's like when you have to deal with a pregnancy. It's something new. It's creation. It's life. It's painful. It can be difficult. It can be difficult. It can be some of the most trying times of a woman's life because she has to know how to connect with herself. Trying to connect with yourself and be yourself and love on yourself when you've been tried in your own body and you can't even run away from it. You can't even take drugs sometimes because it'll affect the baby. So just imagine how sensitive a woman is at that time. And if you're walking around sick, you're trying to manifest your best self because you know you're carrying the child, but you have to deal with your body at the same time. You have to deal with yourself at the same time. This energy, this newfound energy that's erupted inside of you. And I don't want to, because there's so many steps to this, but look at the details of a person's life if they're in this state of being, what they would need around them in order for them to be at peace or to at least find some inkling of peace. If you have any ideas, I want you to drop it in the chat because I want us to communicate with each other, especially brothers, that if you've seen your woman in this state, communicate to the rest of us what you may have done with your woman to ease her mind and to ease her burdens, because I want us to hear each other. I want us to understand that we can talk about women of the past and women in other countries and all of the things, but we have to produce something right here and right now. We can't look back. We have to create something right now in the present so we can have something forward to look forward to. Honestly, I can't stand that my mama this and back in the past and what grandmas did and all of the things, because it's obvious that grandmas ain't the same. We got a new generation and a new generation, and this is the different energy. So now we have to produce a new energy. It might just be you and your woman in a house alone. So now we have to figure out, how do we maintain balance and harmony in this home alone with each other? How do we create this love so that you can ease the burden of this? Because it has to come through some channel. And if you truly love your wife and your husband and your significant other, then that's always the can y'all, okay, I hope y'all can see me because I'm back online. I don't know what's going on. Y'all let me know if y'all can see me because the internet just cut off somewhere. Um, let me see. Cause this is getting on my nerves. Let's see. Let me keep this right here. Hold on just a second, you guys. Cause they trying to play. It's like every single time I'm in my show, it's like the internet doesn't want to work. What in the world? All right. So can y'all hear me? Please, Lord. Okay. Let me know if y'all can hear me and see me and all the things, because I'm swear I be tired of this internet. I don't know what's going on in my neck of the woods, but it just don't be working like that. Like, why y'all gotta mess up when my show starts? Okay. So I definitely want to talk about the holistic care and all of those things, because that's 100% what's needed. But I'm going into the mindset because the mind is everything. It produces everything. It produces the energy that you hold within yourself. Everything that you got in your mind from your past and your present self is producing your future. So we have to have a certain awareness. And I'm trying to get us to see the mind of a woman in these stages, because it is an extremely vulnerable time in her life. And that vulnerability can mess with the psyche. Y'all got to keep let me know if my show was going off or not, because I got two streamings going on, one with my phone and one with the computer, and the computer is messing up, but the computer is always messing up. So y'all forgive me. We're gonna do better next time, inshallah. But like I said, if you can hear me, just keep letting me know y'all can hear me. But I don't see myself on the screen, so I'm not sure. Oh, Allah. Well, if you guys do hear me, then I apologize for all of these interruptions. I am working on it, and let me try to see, because I can't pull up YouTube to even tell if I'm streaming right now. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So can somebody tell me if they hear me, because I'm on my phone and I just need to know I just need like one Y in the box, one Y in the chat, and then I can keep streaming. Okay, good. All right, I'm back on. Whew. Okay, let me make sure. All right, so we are at the postpartum stage. The postpartum stage, no, we're not at the postpartum stage. I'm skipping my mind and already went all over the place. Okay, so we're in the pregnancy stage. Look, I'm probably still dealing from postpartum. I got a 4-year-old. You know, they actually say that it takes 8 years for a woman to recover from postpartum. And we're going to save that for later, because if y'all understand how, if you understand what that means for a woman to recover from postpartum, it takes 8 whole years. So just imagine, what is she recovering from? So a woman, she's carrying your child. She's going through every emotion. Her hormones are all over the place. A lot of us are not taking in the right diet. Our nutrition is poor, is low, because we're saying we hungry, so we just eating whatever's under the sun. Our bodies are going from, we know what it goes from now. It goes from, we was this girl and then we didn't blew it up. So the mental changes behind all of that can literally have a woman go into psychosis in the mind. Did you know that it can get you into such a mental state where a lot of women have to go to get mental health treatment because of the changes and the effects of it? So as a woman is producing a child within her body, in 9 months, she's using life force and energy that exists within her. Did you know that when you produce a child, the child can pull from your bones, from your teeth, the calcium in your body, and it can erode your teeth? Did you know that the child is pulling from the blood, it's pulling from every mineral in the body? So not only is it pulling from the physical body, which is you, because where else is this child getting fed from the nutrition besides what you put into? So if you are not in alignment with your own body, and a lot of us are not, because we don't know how to take care of ourselves, we don't know what a true balanced whole diet looks like. A lot of women going to work, absolutely, on their feet, draining their energy even more, not only just their physical body, but now she using all her mental prowess to put into work for somebody else. Even if she got her own business, she's still working and using so much energy. So if she was at 100%, she damn sure gonna leave with about 50% after she has that baby. And let's be real, a lot of us are not walking into pregnancy at 100% of our energy. A lot of us are drained. A lot of us are overweight. A lot of us are stressed the hell out. A lot of us are in toxic relationships. A lot of us have other children that we're dealing with. We're dealing with so many things. We're trying to organize our home. We're trying to keep up with ourselves. We're dealing with trauma from the past, traumas from our families that we grew up with. It's so many things that can coincide within the mind. But don't think just because she had multiple children that this isn't just she's still a new self every time she produces that child. She's coming into a new energy, because if she's willing to sacrifice her body over and over again, sacrificing her body over and over again, already in a nutritional deficit, already in the energy deficit after having children, and sometimes women are having children back to back to back. They're small children. So imagine if it takes 8 years for a woman to recover, what that looks like if she's having children that are 2 years apart, children that are 1 year apart, children that are 3 and 4 years apart. Her body is declining now. It's pulling from every source. So now her body is in the deficit. So now she pushes out this beautiful newborn baby. And now you have a baby into existence. Now let's back it up. She goes through the process, because I want to talk about this process of even her birthing children into existence. The pain that most women suffer from childbirth alone takes you to a level of pain that is at the highest meter of pain that you have ever experienced in your life. So now you already in a deficit. You already using all your energy. You already probably got children. You're trying to maintain a relationship. You're trying to maintain a family, a marriage. All of these things toppled on top of you. And now you go to push out a baby. You go through hours of pain. Like I said, everybody, there's a balance to this all. Some women don't experience none of this. Some women can slide out a baby and then be, pew, I'm here. And then some women can go 2 days with the most terrible pain of their life. Some women have to get C-sections and have their wombs cut open. So now she has to get double, triple energy, blood coming out. She has to get cut open into. Sorry for y'all for the vision that I'm trying to create, but I'm trying to get you to see that we have made this space, this producing of our children, this should be the most beautiful space. This should be the most beautiful thing that we create. It should be the most beautiful feeling surrounded by that. It should be the most beautiful love surrounding that energy. Because the amount of energy that it takes to produce and then to go into childbirth, and I'm going to keep it real with y'all, during my childbirth, my husband didn't know how to, my ex-husband, he didn't know how to console me in that moment. I felt so vulnerable. I felt like of course, I had a baby in the hospital, 2 of them. And of course, the second time it got better, but it was like, to that last comment. Brothers, I need you to understand that you have to learn how to educate yourself on how to be with your woman during the most vulnerable time of her life. To hold her, to caress her, to love on her, to be kind to her, to nurture her, to give to her. Because she's using her literal life to produce life for you. She's using her life. And I know you've been there the whole time. I haven't even gotten to the mindset of the man at that time. But a lot of times I don't like to speak on men because I want a man to speak for the audience. I'm not a man. I don't want to speak for you. I don't want to speak for you. But We have to learn how to nurture each other because these are our children. Even the first hands to touch your child is important because this energy just came out of you. You want to be the one who touched your child first, not your doctors, not your nurses. You don't want them sticking things into your child. You want to be the hand that touches your child and prays over your child love and the intention and the spirit you want over your child. Everything matters. Every part of this energy matters. And we cannot take it for granted. Because once we do, we just produce take it for granted energy within your child. I know a lot of us have not learned or even read a book about pregnancy or tried to educate ourselves or what do I do? How do I breathe when I push out a baby? How do I make this easier on myself? We're just walking into these things with no foundation at all. None, zero, zilch. We're walking into a whole new reality that we don't plan for, that we don't first cultivate in our minds. And it's like if you keep creating and producing children without cultivating the thought behind that child in your mind and the thought behind the relationships, then we are just going to continue to birth nations in chaos, to produce energy in chaos, to produce energy in homes and families with no foundation. So now she's in a postpartum state. She's producing a child from herself. The spirit that she carries within herself is produced into that child. So if you see a woman walking around sad, crying, always hurt, always in pain, she's going to produce that energy unto your child. It's going to impression on the mind of the child somewhere. It's going to, even if you see that child happy somewhere, that child is going to feel the vibration from your mind to that child, especially the energy between the man and the woman at that time. It will be cultivated into that child. It will be produced. There is no running away from that because you two just came together, merged together, and that's the energy that the child is being produced with. So when I spoke to the brother about postpartum and how to handle that, I said, you have to take control over what you want to create in your family. It's not about her versus you and how do we do this? She's always, yeah, she's tired. There's a lot of things that create this postpartum energy. It can be sleep deprivation. It can be anxiety. It can be the physical recovery from having the child since C-sections, the blood that came out of her, the suffering. It can be the lack of support, the isolation. She might not have a family around. She might not have sisters and mothers and aunties and people to teach her and train her on what to do. Because, you know, after I've experienced this, I had to look at other cultures because I wanted solutions. What do we do to create something better? And I saw in other cultures that they would come around the woman after she's had a child. They would feed her. They would take on the baby for her. Some would come and clean up the home, and they would be around her for a time, for months at a time, feed her the right foods to put back into her body to give her the right nutrition. They would wrap her belly, and sometimes they would even put certain herbs over her belly so that it made the swelling of the belly go down, because you have to look at the woman as though it's almost like she's been wounded. She's been wounded. She has to go through severe amount of pain a lot of the times, and she's using her highest levels of energy. A lot of women even die during these stages. A lot of women die during childbirth because of the amount of pain and the stress over her body. And we're not talking about these things. We're just talking about, oh, we're just having children. Like, this isn't our future. This isn't our state of being. These are your children. It's so many elements at play to this that it's like, you got to bring it into yourself. And that's why I'm like, as much as I can talk about all of the things at play that can hurt us and that's breaking us down, I have to go into the mind to show you that it's your and who you are and your intentions with yourself that's going to matter the most. You have to be yourself. You have to know what you want to create into existence. You have to be on purpose. You have to know that you are here on purpose because God brought you into existence. So if you're going to produce something, you have to have a purpose and a vision behind it. But if we think that we can just keep creating and bringing this chaos energy into existence, we're not going to survive with this energy if we never have an intention behind what we're trying to produce. And I just want to say some of the things that can help in these spaces, because I know a lot of women are suffering in these spaces. Seek therapy. Talk to someone who can just listen to you, because sometimes you need to be heard. Seek therapy with your partner. Hear each other. Listen to each other. Communicate with each other and listen. Have a heart-to-heart moment and expound on what you feel and try to connect to each other. Because all of these things are producing the imbalance. All of it. Get you some support. If you don't have friends that support you, find new ones. And I know it's hard to find support. Seek communities where you can get support. Women who have children, women who are single who have children. Whatever support you need, you have to find it. You have to seek it. And if you can't seek it, you got to find ways to support yourself. Rest. Now, this is something big to me because when you're a mother, you don't get a lot of sleep because now your mind is fine-tuned with that child. It's literally like y'all on the same frequency. That child wake up, you wake up. You're based on the same energy of the child, so you don't know how to adjust yourself and rest. And a lack of rest, a lack of real sleep. Oh, if we understood what that can do to a woman in her body, how much stress that causes. If she's getting up in the middle of the night and she's never sleeping, that's going to cause the mind to just be in chaos. She's not thinking clearly. She cannot sit still in herself. She has no patience. 9 times out of 10, her diet is going to be off because she doesn't feel in control of herself because she doesn't know how to rest and shut it down. I hate because I feel like I'm skipping through this because it's so much to it. But I just wanted to get over the gist of it so you can feel the connection to it. We need nutrition. I think we know we need nutrition, but we have to actually take the time to feed our bodies back to health. If you understood how much work you have to do to take care of yourself, because if you lack nutrition, if you lack sleep, if you lack community and support, you're going to be in the deficit. No matter what that man does, you're going to feel like you're in the deficit because your body is now starving. Your body is starving now. Your body is seeking help. It wants you to sit still. You need time for yourself. And the best way to even start from the beginning of this all is to prepare for what you know you're going to walk into. Sister Valencia, I might have you come up later, so I hope you stay on the line. Because I want I would love for you to give your opinion on that. But I just looked at all of the elements at play when it comes to the mindset behind it and the maintenance. I like you, Sister Queenship, because you be hitting me with the right words. High maintenance. Look, pregnancy is high maintenance. It is. Pregnancy, to go into it, you have to highly maintain yourself. Honestly, everything that you don't maintain about yourself is going to show up, and it's going to show out. It's going to multiply into existence that much bigger. So if you don't have yourself in order, it's going to multiply. That lack of order that you have within yourself is going to create more of it. If you don't eat right now and all you do is eat junk food, then that weight is going to come on 10 times more. Diabetes might come into your body. You're not going to feel like yourself. You're not going to look like yourself. You're not going to be yourself, because you have to look at yourself and to go align to yourself. You know what you need. Everybody has an intuition, man and woman. And if we just took the time out to stop running around chasing whatever we think it is in this reality that matters more than family, if we could just stop for a second, if we can just take it into your mind for a second and vision, what does a true family look like? What do I want my wife or my husband or my partner to feel? You want them to feel connected to themselves. You want to see them thrive. We don't want to see each other in survival mode. We don't want to see each other suffering. Why would we want to see each other suffering? If you're in a relationship right now and you see a person suffering, then you should feel called to be there, to nurture them in some kind of way. If your woman is suffering right now, she just had your child, listen to her. That's the best thing you could do first, is listen and take action behind what she's saying. Because a lot of times a woman doesn't even know what to do for herself. We'll be thinking, oh, she's a mother, she's a woman, she knows what to do. She knows what to do with this child. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. Some women might have that mother trained inside of them. Some women don't know a clue. They don't have a clue what to do. I know when I first held my child, I'm looking at this child like it felt like, I don't know, this baby feel like a new spirit, a new energy. I don't know what to do with this child. It was something new for me. And so we got to stop taking it for granted just because she's a woman. She knows these things. You might actually know more than her, sir. You may actually be able to take on that baby and hold that baby and nurture that baby and take it from the woman's arms so that she can rest, because you have the energy. You didn't just go through 9 months of carrying a child and having yourself nutritionally deficient. And I always tell men this: you should just take the baby. You should have the baby carrier on. You should give her that rest. She's going to need it. And if you go into that mindset that I'm going to nurture my child, I'm going to give this love to my child and give that balance back into the woman, then you will see her recover much faster if she has the help. But you got to be able to be a team. We cannot neglect each other in these times, or else we're just going to create suffering over and over again. Are there any men in the audience? Because I would like to give another perspective, but I know a lot of men like to be quiet and don't like to say much. But are there any men in the audience who would like to give their perspective on the things they may have experienced with their woman and what they may have done to create a better balance? And I know I spoke about the man and child dynamic in my post. And I just wanted to say that everything that the man and woman creates automatically goes to the child. So truly, the stronger the foundation of the man and the woman and what you guys create with each other, it naturally flows into the child. So there is no one without the other. There's just a harmonious relationship. A woman shouldn't have to put a child first, because how can you neglect a man and you have a child over here? But it's like, if the man is picking up with the child and taking care of that child as well, because that's his child, and he's loving on his wife, then doesn't that just create a balance? Doesn't that just create a balance in the family as a whole? But a lot of women think that they got to put their child first. But if you truly love that man, if you have a true foundation of love, then you two are merged together to create that one. So you can't neglect the man and expect the child not to feel the same energy, because the child is made up of that energy of that man regardless. But if you're in a relationship with a man that you feel like you should just neglect anyway, I promise you that's not your man. I promise you, y'all won't be with each other for long, because y'all don't have harmony in that relationship. It ain't no strong foundation there, because the real foundation is us pouring into each other, and pouring our cups runneth over. And then the child takes on the identity of both of us, because the child is made up of us. It's our blood, it's our spirit, it's our energy. So if we are in balance with each other, then that's what the child is. The child is literally just a reflection of you too. So if you take away from the husband or the wife, then that's the energy that your child is walking around with. But once again, I don't see any brothers up here. Let me put the, how do I get the link? Because I was supposed to, let me see. I think I was supposed to, how do I get the link from here? Damn it, y'all. I was supposed to put it in my my banners, but I didn't. And so I don't even want to mess with this, because y'all know how it's been tripping the whole time. Yeah, so, but I want to do part 2 of this, and I will have a brother on that one, because I already asked the brother who has the 5 children to come on. I would be the first. Yes, I love that. I want to be a provider. Okay, I love that. Let's just do questions then. He said, I'm a young man wanting to establish early that I want a big family with my woman. I will be the provider and provide nurturing care for her. How do I start? Well, first you might want to start listening to the beginning, if you haven't already. The fact that, brother, you even want to establish that in your family tells me that it's in your mind to do so. But if you carry trauma in your mind, the first thing you want to do is extract that from your mind and alchemize that into something new, something that is basically love within yourself. You want to create a new awareness about yourself, because these thoughts that we have of ourselves that we like to neglect, those family issues, those mother, those father issues, those how we even saw relationships growing up, not having an example around, traumatic incidents in our lives, it's your connection to self. It all comes down to, how do you feel about yourself? Are you insecure somewhere? Do you give too much to people who don't give back to you? Is there balance in your life? Do you allow people to evade your space and they don't reciprocate? So you have to look at all of these elements of yourself, because it's what you're going to produce into reality. So with your woman, you have to know that is your person, that whatever you do together, you can create and you can thrive together, because you have a certain level of communication and connection with each other. The biggest thing that I see missing from families is communication and connection. I don't even see how it's possible to produce families and we don't communicate, and we don't truly speak our mind, and we don't cultivate love into existence that way. A lot of us are holding in thoughts about each other that we've never spoken of. And what that does is just create a reality from the unseen mind. So, sir, If your intention is to have a family, then you know you need to create that energy within yourself. Family to me looks like, how do I nurture myself? Family is with food. That's the relationship. All the relationships in your life right now, you have to look at, and you have to see how you nurture every single relationship in your life and what nurtures you back. Because that's the exact type of family you're about to create once you create something with a woman. Your relationship with food, is it toxic? Do you always eat junk food? Are you always, because junk food affects the gut, which affects the mind, because it's like the second brain. How do you feel in yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you like what you see? Do you feel like there's other men who are better than you? Or are you chasing some money somewhere? All of these factors matter. Did your mom not give you enough love? Are you searching for that from a woman? So all of these things matter. He said, thank you, sister. Most of my peers are scared of the idea of having a family young. I don't care how they feel. I will do what I must. If I want to be a great man, I need to practice now. Absolutely. Everything has to be in your reality right now. Look, it's Valentine's Day. Most of us don't know how to be alone. We're searching for somebody to bring us flowers, to care for us. When you can go find this space within yourself, when you nurture you so much, you're not looking for something on the outside of you. That's the first step. You have to figure out what it feels like to have that big family right now within yourself. I know that's something that sounds cliche, and it sounds like, how do you do that? But you absolutely can create an environment and a mindset and the heart space where it's all balanced within you. Because the minute you walking in your life and you are good in yourself, where you're not chasing energy, you just waiting for God to present it to you, then that's when you know, oh, God presented me the woman or the man that I called for, because it's an exact mirroring of myself. It's a reflection. It's an opposite energy. It's love. You know it's love because you know that nothing else can show up in your reality but love, because that's all you give to yourself. That is the first and foremost thing. A lot of us are jumping into a relationship right after the last one and never even healed, never even dissected the last one, never looked at it and saw, why did I attract the person that hurt me? Or why did I hurt a person? Why do I cheat? Why do I lie? Why am I insecure? All of these things have to be dissected within yourself. You have to look at everything. And the minute you call in what you truly see for yourself, not a half-ass version, but the full version. The minute you call it in and you say, this is what I desire for myself. This is the vision that I have for myself. If that person comes in and they're steering you away from your vision, then they are not the one that God sent for you, because the vision got to come from here. There's going to automatically be a disconnection unless that person is going to walk into your life and expand your vision. There's an expansion of vision, and then there's a taking away. So you have to look at energy. Energy is so important and it's so valuable, because if you study energy, it don't take you long to see what's right for you. It shouldn't be something you have to question. It should be something you know based off of how you know yourself. It's about building the family within. The family unit and the family foundation has to come from you first, because you are the architect. No matter how much you say another person did this or another person did that, you are the architect of the idea of family. And you want somebody that dreams like you, who thinks like you, who loves like you, but who can expand like you, who can balance things out like you and harmonize it. Because you might see things one way, they might see things one way, but you might be headed in the same direction, but it's gotta merge, it's gotta flow. But if you trying to go here and they trying to go there and the vision ain't the same, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So connecting to how you feel is so important, because what we end up doing is just creating families based off of the pain that exists within us. Let me say that again. We're creating families based off of the pain that exists within us. And so we'll walk into marriages that are defeating us and defeating our spirit, because it's just a reflection of what already exists right there that we didn't take the time to carve out, to look at, to observe, to analyze and understand, and to create new life to. I realized that coming out of a marriage. Actually, during the marriage and coming out of the marriage, I realized I'm not going to blame my ex-husband for anything. It was me and what I allowed into my life, and the patterns and the things that I allowed to continue that I didn't see within myself. And it was like somewhere I saw it, but I didn't sit there and check that shit. And I'm like, you just had to love on yourself enough. You just had to learn how to say no, have some boundaries about yourself. Because if we do not recognize these things, then we're just going to create this cycle over and over and over again. It's just going to continue. There's no way around it. There's no way to stop it if we do not do the self-reflection. If we don't walk into our self-awareness. If we don't do the work, God gonna force you into that space anyway, where you're gonna be forced to do the work. Even if you neglect it, you get to it 5-10 years down the line, you still gonna end up having to do the work. I don't care if it's gonna take you to your 60-70 years old, you're gonna end up doing the work some way, somehow. And there's no way around that, because that's how life is built. And if it's not, you're just gonna die with the same energy that you never grew from. And so yeah, that's I know this was it's a tough subject, and it's a heavy subject, and it's a subject that, I can tell that it's easy to neglect. But I don't even care how many people are on the live. It's like, I know the ones who want to hear it, they're gonna hear it. That's just what it is. The ones who need to hear it for themselves. I apologize, y'all, for freezing up tonight. Internet just been shoddy. It's froze on me a few times. So hopefully, I can close it out soon, because I don't want us to be on shoddy internet. Next week, I would like to do a part 2 of this. I would like to bring people up on the show. So if you would like to participate in next week's live, you can DM me at Fort Unisa, because I would like to bring a man and a woman on stage. Just if you feel brave enough to come up on stage, if you have, like the brother said, he's intentional about creating a family. So I don't mind having you up on stage. I want people to hear that. I want people to be a part of that. I want people to understand your mindset right now and the steps that you can take to just create a better future for yourself. Women who've been in these spaces, or women who've helped in these spaces, it doesn't matter. If you're brave enough to come on stage next week, I would like to bring you into the show, because I like when my shows are active. I don't like to just talk to the screen. But I wasn't prepared this weekend. My internet is a little shy to you guys. But so go ahead and DM me now and get that on Instagram now if you would like to be a part of the show. I'll probably just bring up 1 or 2 people. Yeah, and you have to follow me too, or else it's not going to show me who's following me. But last week, every week I give away, because I like to give away merchandise to everybody. I know you guys, I give away merchandise with my personal business, Glow O, which is a skincare face oil. It's evolving, because I want to get to the men, because I think brothers being neglected out here. They be needing some love. So we gonna make sure we take care of y'all, because it's all about balance up in here. We also have Crown Z. If you know 19 Keys, you know that crown on his head. And we have a whole merchandise Like we have a bunch of merchandise, necklaces, crowns, hats, clothes, all the things. And usually if you DM me and you are one of the winners, then I'll let you kind of let me know what you want, because I don't really care. And also we have gold water. So if you've had gold water before, you know how incredible gold water is. It's colloidal gold. So colloidal gold, silver, pure moss, which is the sea moss. Um, I mean, the benefits of the products in gold water alone are off the charts. Like, especially if you're a mother and you need help with really getting yourself back into balance and getting your mind right. Smart moss is the product that you need. That's smart moss. Get you some smart moss. Actually, get you some sea moss and smart moss. So if you're a woman and you're a winner tonight, I might get you as a winner for gold water, because I want my ladies to tap into these things. I want my brothers to tap into that gold water, into that sports moss, because we are in the season of getting ourselves mentally and physically all the way together. You cannot tell me that you're accessing money and wealth and all of these things and you're physically not on point with yourself. I'm not just talking about you skinny or you. No, it's about what's going on internally inside of your body. Everything is internal. The blood flowing through you. You can see people who skinny and diabetic. It doesn't matter. It's about who you are on the inside, your spirit, and it's that blood in your body, it's those organs, it's everything being nurtured properly. And I know you serious when you start to nurture yourself and you start to take care of you, regardless of what's going on in the world, just you and who you are. So, and if you, because I always got to shout out my own company, it's Glow O. We made it for us. Like, I don't spend a lot of money on a bunch of stuff, especially useless things. So we wanted to create a product that is going to give you exactly what you need to take care of yourself. If you on the go, if you work a lot, you got children, all you got to do is rub it into your skin. But I also created it with the mindset of taking some time to yourself, to just being intentional with yourself and taking care of yourself, because we've lost the art of taking care of ourselves and nurturing ourselves. So even as a man, if you're intentional about having a family and a balanced relationship, brothers, you have to take care of yourselves. That's your skin. You can, as you age and you get older, you got to worry about the pollution in this world, about all of the energy surrounding you. You got to take care of yourself, because what you see in the mirror is a reflection of how you're going to feel on the inside of yourself. So I know everything in this world seems like it's marketed towards women, and it is, because women are the biggest spenders. But brothers, you have to realize you are the maintainers. You are the ones who are creating this universe through your seed. It's your energy, and whatever you give to that woman is just multiplied. So if you take out the time to fine tune yourself right now, be your most beautiful self. Don't give a damn about how everybody else thinks. I don't care how you was raised, how everybody just tells you what masculine is, and all of these things that we tell ourselves, like we can't tap into ourselves. Yes, you got to tap into your full self. It's just you. Because as you get older and you look at yourself, you want to feel like you. You want to feel like, I'm me. I'm glowing too. I look good. Because when you look good, you feel good and you attract good. Okay? But if you don't look at yourself and you don't want to take care of yourself, then that's the energy you're going to get. So, if you would like to be a winner, because last time I only had like 2 people message me, and I had like free stuff to give away. I'm like, y'all don't even want free stuff? I'm not even telling y'all to buy nothing. Damn. So all I said was you have to follow me and just send me a DM, and I will give 3 winners for the Crown Society, Gold Water, and Glow Up. And I have to make this announcement that I do not do international because it just costs too much. And then sometimes they charge you guys too if you're international. So if you are national in the United States, and you would like to be a winner of the products, all you have to do is DM me at for Unisa, for UDNISA. It means for all woman, because that's my middle name, y'all. All you have to do is DM me. I'm sorry, and you have to follow those pages. I don't care if you need to unfollow and follow. Just show me that you follow, and I will announce the winner. And sometimes I announce it in my story, and sometimes I just message y'all back because my brain be going too fast. So if y'all do it right now, because I promised y'all last time I only had like 2 winners. It was just one for Crown Society and one for Gold Water. And I was like, damn, nobody want no face oil. Nobody. Look, y'all see the skin. Okay. So yeah, it's just free products. So I mean, I'm just doing this from the kindness of my heart. So if you don't want it, that's okay. I'm not gonna force it on you. But I like to give away free stuff because it's just I want y'all to see why the family built these things and why we created them. Because once you start to use them, you'll see, oh, this is why. Because maybe, but I don't know, maybe sometimes we don't appreciate it when it's free. But also, if you have taken Gold Water before, and you have noticed the benefits of it, could you please make a testimonial video? If you're one of my audience members, we are offering 50% off the next product. And if you're one of my audience members and you make some testimonials, I might send you some free stuff. So if you can DM Gold Water with your testimonial video, that would be much appreciated. I appreciate you guys for coming on the live tonight. I really hope it was beneficial. I'm apologize for the streaming and the internet, but also if you want to send some love, send it to Cali 1988. Peace and blessings, everybody. See y'all next week.